What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are here at Lake Julian Disc Golf Course for a Flippy mid-range battle. Hopefully it stays calm. It is very calm right now, very still out. And we have the Halo Star Stingray. You may notice that this is a slightly different stamp from the other one because the other one is right about there, probably about 15 feet down. Yeah, it's in the lake. So we're going with the rainbow foil versus the Proton Soft Paradox from the 2024 OTB Open. Now, based off of the shape of the discs, these should fly differently. Based off of the fact that this is Proton with gyro, anything is possible. So let's go ahead and give them a rip. We are going to go ahead and start with the Stingray. Yeah, nice little stand up. I kind of pulled it off the line though. It was supposed to be flatter and more piercing and actually like flipping up in towards the basket. If it happens again, it happens again. But I'm gonna try to actually hit the line that I wanted to hit with the... That's the right line. More integrity than I was anticipating based off of the profile, but that was really nice. As far as the line we were looking for, Paradox has the point, first point. It's still a little wet. Got some mud on it, tried to wash it off in the creek, and now the Proton is wet. It's fine. On this hole, the safe aggressive play is to throw a mid-range turnover shot, and these both are discs that would kind of lean more towards a turnover style shot. So let's see if we can make this work. You can stay there. Paradox first. So I parked the short basket. I like this stability because you can just throw it on a hyzer and know it's going to the right. It may not turn and burn, and it may be a little bit slower than sometimes you anticipated, but at least it ends up kind of more to the right than over here to the left. Paradox is a little bit more understable, maybe a touch, or maybe I'm just better hitting Proton, which we already know. The Stingray, because of how wide diameter and how sharp and triangular the cross-section profile is, it kind of makes it more mid or fairway driver than a mid-range. Like fairway driver style flight with a little bit more of mid-range distance, still getting really good distance, a lot of distance for a mid-range. So like it kind of, I know they say it's a 4-speed, but it really does vary, or it really does kind of merge onto that really fast mid-range that is almost a fairway driver. And I like the way the Peach flips, but the Peach wasn't quite flippy enough for this slot. So I think the way the Paradox flips, at least from the couple of throws, just the 2 throws so far, it's going to be a very controllable flip, but it's always going to flip. which is something that the Stingray didn't always do. And I did use the Stingray for little forehand touch flip shots, but it is very touchy. And if you don't get quite enough on it, it never flips up. And if you put just a tiny bit too much on it, it turns and burns. Very touchy. Let's see if the Paradox is any better. The Stingray was a better shot for the hole, so I think it's fair that we give the Stingray the point, and it'll lead us off on the forehand. There we go. Now for the Paradox. We're gonna give that one to the Stingray. It was user error, but the user error caused the Stingray to be a better shot than the Paradox. So that is what it is. Stingray with 2 points, Paradox with just the 1. I hope it didn't get lost. Now we're gonna go with a shot that is kind of the bane of the Stingray's existence, because even the Peach did better at this type of a shot, which was the low, hard driven, fast turnover. And the Stingray with the wide diameter and the higher glide, it just has too much air to really flip that fast. This one is mid-range size, but it's a little bit smaller than the Stingray, and I think it will be a little bit better on this shot, but Stingray has the box. Punch it on hyzer, low, fast, try to get it to turn late. Well, guess what? Neither one was a good shot, but Paradox actually turned over, so Paradox with the point. It's a good disc. I don't know if it's the perfect stability. We're gonna keep messing around with this slot, trying to figure out exactly what I want. But right now, I think it's going to be more consistently understable than the Stingray was, based off of, well, now experience, and also the profiles make it seem more understable. And if you traditionally have issues throwing forehand off the tee as far as distance is concerned, you know, everybody can do one of these to get them back onto a fairway. But off a tee, if you're not comfortable with something this far, you can understable mid-range, understable driver, and just throw it on more hyzer. Because we are throwing uphill, we still want it to turn. A little bit too inside. I needed it more to the left, but this is the right shot shape. But this is the kind of distance where if I throw the Stingray half power, it may not turn, but if I throw the Stingray full power, it might go too far because of the glide. So it's a really touchy distance with a disc like this. So yeah, and it's just, the Stingray is more stable than the Paradox. And I have issues with like middle of the road Flippy. It either needs to be just a tiny bit, none at all, as in overstable, or very understable. And those kind of middle of the road Flippy discs, I have so much trouble controlling the angles of. That's not my preferred angle of release. So I would rather not change my game to match my discs. I would rather change the discs to match my game. That's where we're at with the Paradox. Now comes one of the more true tests. How far can they go while still holding that understability without turning into a roller? Because you can go too far on the understable side, the end of a Rolo. It is amazing and understable, but if you're a little off, it is just going to roll because it's designed to do that. The Paradox is kind of designed to just kind of pan out and glide. It's not necessarily designed with the same sharp rim shape like the Rolo has, like the Stingray has. So how far can this go? How long will it hold on to that turn? Gonna give it a nice, pretty decent amount of hyzer, and then see how long before it late turns. Like I said before, if you have issues throwing a forehand off the tee, have you tried a paradox? It didn't even turn over. The same, if not less hyzer, more driven, punch through. The Paradox is more understable than the Stingray, especially a Halo Star Stingray. I'm really liking that Paradox. Like you saw when it got to the end of its flight, it didn't just hold on to the turn. It kind of flattened out right at the very end so that it slid that direction instead of cut rolling back to the center. The Paradox is a really good understandable mid-range. How have I never thrown one before? So the Paradox is going to win out. The Stingray is amazing. It's just not quite understable enough for me to fully trust it in this slot. It's a little bit flippier than the Peach was, but not quite as unstable as this Paradox. And this Paradox is like almost perfect stability. So I'm going to try to make the Paradox go pretty much straight, so really steep hyzer release. We'll see how much play we get, and then I'm going to try to actually get the Stingray to turn for once. Oh, that's so much fun. That is so much fun. Oh, I'm going to be able to do some weird lines with that disc. That's gonna be, oh, yep. I am already in love with Paradox. Now let's see if we can get the Stingray to actually turn over today. Finally. It literally took holding on to it, gripping it, and throwing it like it was a driver to get it to do that flight. Anything less than that, and it's just a normal straight flip up mid-range. If you want it to get the Stingray flight, you have to throw it so hard and actually throw it nose down, which is not my preferred throw for a mid-range. I prefer to throw my mid-ranges slightly nose up so I get the long glidey shots instead of the hard driven shots, because I don't have enough power to make the mid-range go that far nose down. Anyways, Paradox is going to win out. Paradox is going straight in the bag when we get out, when we get done here. Hopefully you guys enjoy content like this. If so, please make sure to like the video. If you want to see new stuff, make sure to comment all of that down below. Please make sure to subscribe. It helps you guys out with these subscriber-only giveaways. And if you want to be guaranteed entry into a giveaway a month, check out the memberships as well. Until next time, see you out on the course.